Good morning. Happy Friday. I know a lot of you guys are wrapping up spring break. Before I get to today's post, I wanted to acknowledge the passing of Chuck Norris. What a wonderful martial artist. As many of you know from my post, I've kind of been around martial arts my whole life and started with Jeet Kune Do, but when I moved here, I was fortunate enough to meet Carlos Machado, who's a pioneer in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Chuck brought him here, and our classes were on the set of Walker, Texas Ranger. So I wanted to acknowledge just the great man that Chuck Norris was today, just a wonderful soul. And with that being said, so I've been encouraging you guys to go to my website, erickeys.com, join the Lion's Den, send me your email. That's where I'm going to be doing most of the correspondence for all the new releases that we have coming up and the exciting interviews we have there with great musicians, chefs, entrepreneurs, people who've really changed the world. We've even got some interviews with people who are billionaires, who've really done some amazing things. And people like Clint, if you listen to Clint Strong's interview, it'll change your life. So anyway, with that in mind, I wanted to talk about the concept of the invisible everything today. It doesn't have to be just the invisible guitar. It can be invisible jiu-jitsu, it could be invisible in the chef. You are your own instrument. And that's what my work and my life's work has been based on. And when we get together and you join the Lion's Den, I'm gonna take you there with me. We're gonna do it together. And you're gonna transcend memorization and the hard part of music where most people get stuck. Everybody that's ever studied me will tell you that this comes up. Would you rather memorize a bunch of jokes or would you rather be funny? Music is a language. It's a universal language, okay? There's no getting around that. I was in Prague in the Czech Republic. I spent a lot of time in Czechoslovakia, and I was walking across the St. Charles Bridge one day, and a gentleman was playing Yesterday, a beautiful song by the Beatles that I did a guitar version of. And he sang it perfectly, and I gave him a tip and was complimenting him. And I was surprised he couldn't speak a lick of English, but he sang that song perfectly. And my Czech's pretty good, so we were able to converse about it. But that's what I want to get to today, okay? So here's something fascinating that you may or may not know, and if you don't know this, please bookmark it. Ohm. What does that mean? Ohm. It's the pitch that the earth vibrates at. Scientists a few years ago were all giddy because they discovered that the earth was a C sharp, which is 136.1 beats per minute, which makes the pitch C sharp, which is known as ohm. Also, if you use an ohm meter in electronics, like I do, I have a background in electronics and working on amps, and I love tubes, and the same thing. This is a Metavibes technology pitch pipe from the early 1900s. It's the pitch C sharp. Now, in music, C is often considered to be the one. I don't think of it that way. This makes me a lot different than a lot of music teachers you're going to come across if you want to call what I do that. I think it's a little different, but whatever the method is, I never really ascribed to C. I think the root is movable. So for me, it's more beneficial to lock into C sharp since it's the pitch that the earth is at, right? So whenever I have really good relative pitch. I don't have perfect pitch, but I can call tones. If I'm on an airplane, I can hear the sound of the engine and tell you what pitch it is. Open my car door, I know what pitch it is. My cat meows, I know what pitch it is. So F sharp, bomb, 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 bomb. Okay, so I know where F sharp is because, see, my body's my instrument. I'm the instrument. It doesn't matter if I played the trumpet, the guitar, if I was singing, if I was background singing, if I wanted to be a rapper, if I wanted to program my Akai MPC3, I know that pitch, bomb, bomb. So if I want C sharp, bomb, 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 there it is. That's the pitch of the earth. So what I've done is I locked myself into that pitch. There's C sharp. Instead of using middle C, I use C sharp. So when I go up 3 whole steps, it gets me to G. And that's equally distant. Now if I go down from C sharp I also get G. So see, C sharp is right in the middle. I consider that the tone of God. Music is my religion, like Ozzy says. Rock and roll is my religion and my love. So with C sharp being on lockdown, when I fall down to the earth and I deal with tangible things like a trumpet or a piano or a guitar, it doesn't matter. I'm the music. So I already know those things, you see? So when I lock into that C sharp and the G, it's equally 3 whole steps flat, 3 whole steps sharp. And from there, it's almost, I grew up in baseball, it's like a baseball diamond. I can identify every pitch in between there, see? And that's called the equal interval system. You would want to look into Spud. He was a arranger that was really good in this system. Look into Pat Martino. My dear friend Alan Holdsworth kind of thought this way. It's more like a sacred geometry, Barry Harris. Bernard Wright was real hip to this kind of thinking. Keith Jarrett. You don't have to read music if you understand the math. The universe is math. Everything is doable with math. So I just encourage you to do that. So if I was to go up a minor third from C sharp, see, there's the diminished. It's just minor thirds up, and that's equidistant. It's very cool. So join the Lion's Den. Stop by my website. I'll show you how you can transcend all instruments. This is almost